Greetings, back with another one. It appears that a Street Fighter film is in the works. I guess. Um, Now I remember the old Street Fighter film back in the '90s, and I was a kid when that came out. And in retrospect, it wasn't a great film, but because it came out during the time when I was a kid, and you know, looking back, it was very nostalgic and stuff like that. Like I said, it wasn't a great film, but I kind of just let it go because it came out, during the time when I was a kid, so I kind of just let it go. And then we've had, some animated films like the Street Fighter Alpha film was really cool. We had the animated films, and we had another live action film. I never got around to it, but apparently Hollywood is working on a Street Fighter adaptation, and it says WWE's Roman Reigns is perfect for a Street Fighter movie, and here's why. Well, who the hell is he gonna play? I mean, I don't know, but like I heard that, yeah, it said he's being considered for the role of Akuma. Okay, well, I mean, let's get into this because this is crazy. It says Roman Reigns has been the face of WWE throughout the past decade, growing his star power both in and out of the wrestling industry. He's dominated the world of WWE, but now he's looking forward to conquering the movie world with the Street Fighter film adaptation in the works right now. Now, I remember Roman Reigns when he was a part of the Shield, along with Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins, and that's when I preferred it. It's like I said, I grew up a pro wrestling fan, but I haven't really watched wrestling, religiously since I don't know, like after Eddie Guerrero, died, and Benoit and all those guys, and then like Kurt Angle and all those guys, like kind of like the guys that I grew up watching during the Attitude and the early '90s Ruthless Aggression. Once the Ruthless Aggression, era died out, I just stopped watching it because that's when the PG era came in and stuff like that, and I just really wasn't into it as much as I used to be. But then I kind of came back around like probably like 15, 16, just started just jumping in and out of it just to see what was going on. But now I don't really watch it at all. I'm kind of like done with the WWE. I mean, I still know who some of the people are, but not really. I can point out some names, but and I know Roman Reigns is like a part of the bloodline and all that stuff. And like I said, I haven't been watching it, but from what I've seen, I just doesn't. I don't really care for it, but like I said, he has been on top, and he actually appeared in the film, I think, with The Rock, and because Roman Reigns is a part of the world famous Anawai Samoan Dynasty wrestling family, and The Rock was in the film, I think, called something in Hobbs. I can't remember. It was some spinoff of the Fast and Furious. He and um, Jason Statham, I think, were in the film and stuff like that. And I think Roman Reigns appeared in that film. It was a film where they were kind of like doing like the Samoan Haka tradition dance, and I think Roman Reigns was in there somewhere. But anyway, it says Street Fighter is a beloved video game franchise. Yes, it is, and the possibility of that becoming a movie is something that fans will be excited about. Video game adaptations are becoming the norm as of late. Well, they've been doing it since the '90s. There would be no shortage of people wanting to be involved in that project. However, one of them should be Reigns, who could surprise movie fans with what he has to offer. Now, like I said, I don't like. I mean, unless you just want to throw him in there as a side character, stuff like that. But out of the main roster, like, who can he be? I don't know. Like they're leaning towards Akuma. I don't agree with that at all. Yeah, he's not Japanese, and I don't know if Roman, like I said, I mean Akuma he's a high powered karate, demon death hand, master and stuff like that. So I don't know if Roman Reigns has a background in karate or any martial arts to speak of. I don't know. I just and I think that was the big mistake that they made with the original film. They had Jean Claude Van Damme in there who played Guile, and yeah, Jean Claude is martial arts background stuff like that. But I just don't think that he was the best casting choice, or like the suitable casting choice to play Guile. And just I don't know. And then I mean they threw all the characters in there, which was fun to see when I was a kid. And then I don't know. It's just that some of the roles, like Ken and Ryu and Chun Li, just some of the stuff they were doing. It was just, I mean, that film was all over the place. I mean, I remember Kylie Minogue, she played Cammy. Well, it was fine, but that film was just all over the place. But it says the Street Fighter adaptation is in the works, which will take on the popular video game series in what will prove to be a popular film if the quality is there. According to Deadline, Reigns is in talks for one of the lead roles in the live action adaptation, which is going to be produced by Legacy Pictures. There are also a lot of other prominent names being linked with the move, with the likes of Jason Momoa, Andrew Koji, don't know who that is. Noah Centineo, don't know who that is either. Also being attached to the project in some form. Like I said, who can Jason Momoa play? I don't know. I mean, like I said, he played Aquaman. I didn't see that, but I heard the film did okay. Fightful Selection, Fightful Selection has added to the report by claiming that Reigns is in talks for the role of Aquaman, a popular anti-hero within the Street Fighter franchise. The character has one of the most distinctive looks from the game due to his distinctive red hair, and that's something that will help Reigns pop if he ends up being cast. Like I said, I just don't think that's a good fit for him. I really don't. I mean, anything's possible. Like you said, that's movie magic for you with the makeup and the costume and all that stuff. But I mean, there's no doubt that Roman Reigns can be a present. But I don't know. It just, you know, Akuma, he's a Japanese guy. He's always speaking Japanese and stuff like that. I don't know. It just, but like I said, this is Hollywood, so Hollywood, try to dip their toe in a lot of things. But proceed, and that's something that will happen. Help Reigns pop if he ends up cast. It will also make him look unusual in comparison to his usual appearance, which is long black hair. Uh, while there has been negative reputation at times regarding professional wrestlers moving into the world of acting, there are more than enough success stories to prove that casting Reigns wouldn't be a risk. Whether it's John Cena or Dave Bautista, the world of professional wrestling actually works as a solid training ground for acting due to the live aspect of the sport. Exactly. I mean, I think that's the reason why The Rock, was able to transition into the film roles. I mean, you had wrestlers who gone into acting. I think it started with people like Hogan and Piper and Andre and guys like that, and then Undertaker did some films. Goldberg was in the film. Stone Cold Steve Austin was in the film, and I think Triple H was in the film. And then Rock just took it like 10 steps higher than everybody, and he's one of the big blockbusters in Hollywood today. So yeah, I mean, wrestling is basically theatrics. Wrestling is like Broadway, but instead of singing and dancing, it's just you know stage combat pretty much. That's basically what pro wrestling is. Continue. The need to think on the spot and how much emotion has to be poured into it. Anybody who has watched Reigns work in the WWE wouldn't doubt his potential as an actor because he has showcased a great standard of actually excuse me, exactly that during his bloodline storyline in recent years. But see, now the bloodline thing, from the stuff I've seen, I think Paul Heyman, probably deserves the most credit because he did most of the talking from what I saw. Like I said, I did not keep up with the WWE and I don't really watch it, but I know that the Bloodline was like the top faction and it was the top storylines and going at it with people like Cody Rhodes and all that stuff. And I think CM Punk is back and stuff, all that. I mean, it's just I don't know what they're doing now, but continue. That period of time has allowed his star power to grow around pop culture generally, all while becoming the biggest name in wrestling worldwide. He puts lots of effort into the smaller details with his facial expressions, reactions, and talking ability, all being at the highest standard, which should lead him being capable of transitioning into acting seamlessly, which would benefit a Street Fighter adaptation. Like, I don't have no problem with Roman Reigns or any other wrestler going into acting. I mean, I have no problem with it, but I don't know if Street Fighter is a good place for Roman Reigns to start. And like I said, I think the first and only film he did was with The Rock in that Hobbs movie. I can't remember the name. Something Hobbs, I think. Like I said, I mean, yeah, it's no doubt. I mean, he, like I said, if you see him, he has a good physique, he has a good presence and stuff like that. He kind of reminds you of a Jason Momoa, really, that Islander, Polynesian look and stuff like that. I mean, there's no doubt that he can, be a good leading man. But Street Fighter, I don't know. Continue. It isn't just in WWE where Reigns has been able to flex his acting qualities, as he has already made several movie appearances. He starred in Fast and Furious Presents Hobbs and Shaw, that's what it was, as well as The Wrong Missy, an animated movie Rumble. Reigns is related to WWE legend and Hollywood megastar Dwayne Johnson too, which certainly doesn't hurt his reputation, and he does carry a similar aura with him, which is unteachable. Plus, casting him would instantly gain a significant number of people wanting to watch the film, as WWE fans will support him, which is why it would also make smart business sense. There's no doubt in my mind, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, look at The Rock. I mean, any wrestler who wants to lace them up or take some time off to transition to make films, there's no doubt in my mind that they can do it. I just think that I just don't think that just because what you do in the ring is going to automatically you know transition that success into the world of filmmaking, stuff like that. I mean, I still you still need to be a really decent casting choice, at least in my opinion. I don't think that all actors are qualified to do every single thing unless you really work at it and expand your range and stuff like that. That's what I hope to do one day as an aspiring actor and stuff like that. Expand my range and play multiple a multitude of roles and stuff like that. And I'm not saying that Roman Reigns can't do that. I just don't know. Street Fighter, Akuma, like I said, maybe they could just throw him in there, some regular dude or some other dude or something. I don't know. I just don't know. Because I'm thinking of all of the iconic characters in the Street Fighter franchise. Who can he play? I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see if this comes to fruition. Continue. A big reason to have Roman Reigns in Street Fighter would be beneficial for his physicality. As a professional wrestler, he has no problem getting stuck in front, that perspective. And that's something that would likely stand him in good stead and allow him to make his scenes feel even more relatable. Having Reigns be involved in as many of the physical scenes as possible without relying on a stunt double will make a bigger difference than most people realize. Plus, given his incredible physique, there is no denying that he looks like a potential participant in the Street Fighter movie. While the details are scarce about what this movie will provide, there is no doubt that it will be jam packed with action, as that is what the video game franchise is notorious for. Reigns would thrive in that environment, and if his performance ends up being good, this could be a breakout moment for him in Hollywood, which many people have talking about the Street Fighter adaptation for years to come. Well, I'm all for professional wrestlers. You know, if you want to go and do acting and make films and be a leading man or woman, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Because like I said, wrestling it is a performance. It is theatric. So you know, I don't know. I just don't think Street Fighter would probably be because, like I said, video game films they don't have the best reputation. I mean, I would say probably out of all of the video games that became films, at least early on in the '90s, I would say Mortal Kombat films were probably the biggest one. The Super Mario film back in the day, it was live action. I kind of liked it because I just love seeing Mario and Luigi in an urban sense. I just thought it was pretty cool, even though it was so so different. If y'all can remember, if y'all old enough, if y'all in my generation, I'm in my mid 30s, so if you can remember Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo, they played Mario and Luigi. It was so different. It was a live action urban sense. And like I said, if you didn't plaster the Super Mario IP on it, it would have been a decent film. It would have just been about two plumbers in the city, going against the bad guys and stuff like that. But it was so different. Even though I still like it to this day because it was so different. It was crazy. But yeah, you had the Street Fighter film, and then you had the Double Dragon film. And I know I'm missing but the Minecraft film, I think it did well. I mean, like video games that the movie video games, they kind of do better today as opposed to they did back then. But I don't know, man. Like I said, Roman Reigns, hey, if he's thinking about taking some time off from wrestling and going to acting or making films, I'm all for it. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, he looks the part. I mean, there's no doubt he can play like a tough guy. Like I said, Batista did it. The Rock did it. Cena did it. Goldberg and Austin and Taker, all those guys did it. So I mean, like I said, I can't stress it enough. I just don't think Street Fighter would be the best place for him to start. But hey, maybe he'll shock us all. But all right, y'all. I just wanted to put my 31 cents in there and just 31 cents added. Another one for the archives. It's your brother Bleak signing out. Until next time, you guys. Os.